take care of some questions here. All right, so I handed back everything I have, quizzes, homework, whatever. Who has a question about something that I turned back? We'll do review sheet questions after lunch. But any question about something that I turned back? Peter?
Quiz 5.3, 5.4, for number 3, when you get to the part where it's like root 2 over 2, would that be, is that like 1 over root 2?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Just unrationalized. All right, so let's take a look at this question. This is on one of the quizzes, and your job is to solve it. So if we add root 2 and divide by 2, we get this, which is the rationalized version of this, isn't it? Aren't those two things the same? And it doesn't matter, but it might be easier for you to think about it like this, because then you're thinking about a sine opposite over hypotenuse 1 and root 2, which are numbers that you're familiar with. So this angle is 45 degrees, pi over 4. Now, the sine can also be positive in quadrant, that's a positive number. So it can also be positive over here, which would mean that's pi over 4, which would mean this angle, which is 3 pi over 4. So my angle is either pi over 4 or 3 pi over 4. The angle whose sine is 1 over root 2. But remember, I did the problem in terms of 2x. So that means I have to go around again. So what is a second revolution? So what is the second quadrant 1 angle? If I go all the way around and back to here, what would that be? 9 pi over 4. And then all the way around and over to here in quadrant 2 would be 11 pi over 4. Now those are all the angles in 2 revolutions that have a sine of 1 over root 2. But those are all 2x values. So what are the x values? Well, the x values are going to be half of this. So pi over 8, 3 pi over 8, 9 pi over 8, and 11 pi over 8 are your answers. Okay, Finley?
Did you do 152, number 1?
You have to tell me what the question is.
It's like secant minus tan.
Yep.
All that.
So, I'll have to remember there. Okay, last one, and we'll go to lunch. All right, so here we go. First thing, there are lots of things you could do here, absolutely lots of things you could do. I think I'll go ahead and change these into sines and cosines, because I noticed that then they're going to have a common denominator. So this is going to be 1 over cosine minus sine over cosine. So basically it's 1 minus sine over cosine squared. Right? Now, the numerator is 1 minus sine times 1 minus sine. The denominator is cosine squared. Now wait a minute, what's cosine squared? Keep an eye on where you're headed here. What's cosine squared? 1 minus sine squared. So I have 1 minus sine, 1 minus sine, over 1 minus sine squared. And what can I do with 1 minus sine squared? Factor it. So I have 1 minus sine, 1 minus sine. 1 minus sign, 1 plus sign. And there we go. Okay? Alright, you need to be back from lunch at 35. We're strict today, gotta be back from lunch at 35, and we'll review some more. 35.